Hey folks, it's Lindsay Host with SPS back in the building over on Tuxedo, representing on the west side of Michigan at Central High School, and I'm with a great individual, beyond being a great coach, and also has a future as a great tour guide for historical monuments. Talk about none other than Coach Jimmie Macon, Central High School.
Yes,
Coach, how you doing, man?
Right.
It's so good to see you, man. Thank you for your availability. And I talked about the historical aspect. So before we even talk about football and this upcoming preview, talk about what it's like to be one of the caretakers of such a historical place, referring to Central High School.
It's amazing you say that, caretaker, because I came here in 1979 as a freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was playing for the West Side Clubs at that first year. After I left the Cubs, I came right back here to Central, 1980, which was amazing season that year. You know, we went to the state semis, played against Brother Rice. I was on that team. You know, it was amazing how the older guys took me in, developed me and everything. I was a smaller guy. I was like, wow, man, I don't know if I can play like on this level. But they, gave me, encouragement and developed me, as, a brother. At that young age, to get somebody to develop you and work with you like that, I'm the oldest son. So, by me having been the oldest, my little brother younger than me. So to see somebody give me leadership like that, it was amazing. And I appreciate all those guys from back then. I played all the way up to 83, graduated, went to Jackson State University.
Stayed in that blue and white, huh?
Stayed in the blue and white, man.
Right.
Played from I played from 83 all the way to 87 under the late W.C. Gordon. He was the head coach down there. Him and Willie Jones, defensive back coach, all those guys helped me throughout my transition in college. I had a good time down there, great experience and all that.
I bet. And
came back home back in the early 90s. I was working at Ford Motor Company, but was unsure if I wanted to go back to probably teaching at school or doing anything. So I come up to see my old high school coach, and he grabbed me with arms once again, back and feeling like I was a freshman, sophomore in high school. So he brought me in and asked me to go talk to the DBs and work them out and do different things. And next thing I know, he was talking about, I'll see you tomorrow at this time.
Oh man, it was on.
I didn't know what he was coming with his imagination. But he came. I come back to talk to some more guys, and he gave me a whistle and said, "Hey, now you a coach now. You got to start helping out." And I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing as a coach. I'm just not fresh playing, and I'm used to seeing guys, do things up-tempally like we do, and not developing anyone.
It was ready to go.
That I could learn to be a teacher one day. So that took me and carried me on. I was under Thornhill, who was a coach, Richard Keel, Robert Hunt, Eric Smith, one of my favorite guys. Him and Rob, we all played together in high school. Those are good coaches and Hall of Fame type guys. And I just wanted to keep embracing here because I kept looking. Even at the time, I didn't have, as far as working at Ford and also working, coming here as as a coach. I didn't want to be a teacher because the income was totally different.
So you weren't drawn that, so you couldn't really figure out what your place was going to be.
Correct. And so when I finally started seeing how the trail needed to be in good leadership as everything was moving around and not no stability, I pretty much wanted to step back in and be that kind of guy that roll back into it and do things like that. And through my paths, I've seen, over 200 kids go off to college and, a couple of NFL ball players and stuff like that, arena football players and so forth.
So I got with a gold jacket too, huh?
Yes. Fortunately, I got blessed with having the opportunity to be still living to see that happen, as a person. Antonio Gates, he's a great kid, man. He was always that guy. I remember going over to Post Middle School to see him play basketball. Seeing him be a football guy.
The only guy in the NFL Hall of Fame that did not play collegiate ball.
Correct. He did not play a down of collegiate ball. Should I say that? Meaning in the ball game and the scheme of things, because he went off to school on a football scholarship at Michigan State. He did practice, but he wasn't allowed to play. And that was the same thing when he stepped on the campus at Eastern Michigan. He played for momentarily, but Milt Barnes, the basketball coach at the time, knew what kind of skill set he had.
Shout out to Milt. I was just talking to Milt a minute ago.
He pulled him on in and told him to stick with basketball, And then, Antonio got moved around again, so forth, because I think Jim Christensen or whoever it was, he moved him around. He went out there. Stan Heath got the job over there. He called up him and Telefarrell, and he went over to Kent State, played basketball there. Rob Murphy was like the last coach left after those guys left. And he turned around and, Rob helped him, get some help as far as, you know, a workout.
Right. Right.
You know, at the time, James Harrison, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and all that, he was coming in trying to, you know, draft him and so forth. So Antonio had good numbers and good times. And a lot of schools, you know, I'm sorry, not schools, but a lot of professional teams reached out to him. You know, they was looking on contentions of 1-year contracts.
Sure.
So he had a better of the deal with the San Diego Chargers, and he had a great professional career for 14 years. You know,
yeah, he did.
16 years.
So with that great history from the school, people like Antonio Gates, as you can talk about, how does that translate with Dwight Smith?
Yes. Super Bowl leader in interceptions, you know, 2 ran back for 2 touchdowns with Tampa Bay in 2002, I believe it was. And he had a great career as well. You know, he played 9 seasons. He also played here in the Detroit season when they was 0-16.
Oh, he was on that team.
He was on that team, yes.
So you had him around.
I had him around.
So you keep having these great things. How does that translate to the young men that are over my shoulder right now that you're getting them ready for their first game in the next couple of weeks?
Yes, well, and like you're saying, a couple of weeks from now, we'll be playing Pontiac Notre Dame Prep, who won the state title.
Championship.
Yes, and they coming down here on Leadwood. So
they coming
that's
over this
be
way.
Great, and it's our opportunity to get back our get back. You know, but the thing is, we're trying to develop their mind mentally, also their bodies. We've been doing over the transition of the off season, and they, you know, they kind of understand for what the game is. Most of them are returning starters, so they understand for what we got to do to prepare for a game, you know, in that type of magnitude.
Yeah. You got a couple young men in particular, some I've seen on the basketball court, some have amazing size. Talk about a couple of your standouts right now.
Yes, my standouts, Jeremiah Gray. You know, he's one of my guys. Like I told a lot of people, man, I see him potentially, if he stay the course and do things, he'll develop to be a professional NFL player. You know, he might be a guy that can get a gold jacket as well.
Yeah, and what's his stats as far as his specs, size, and his weight?
He's 6'7", 250. You know, he moves around like a gazelle. You know, and you know, seeing somebody that's leaping on you from that, you know, size and distance. You know, he's covering the sun over you.
Yeah, and he's aggressive. At least I remember seeing that on hoop court how aggressive he is too.
He's extremely aggressive. Well, he got aggressive playing football. So you know, he came to me in the 9th grade. You know, he met me on the field and said, "Hey, coach, I want to play football." And I'm looking at a guy 6'4", 6'5", like, "Hey, man, you don't play basketball?" He said, "Well, coach, you know, football is my love. That's what I like. I like hitting. I like being physical."
Wow.
So, you know, and I guess it's showing up now.
Yeah.
You know, 3 years later, you know, he's been here the whole 4 years at Central High School. And he's an amazing kid, man. You know, the struggles and triumphs he's going through. You know, he moved from the west side to the east side. He lived all the way near Grosse Pointe.
Oh, wow.
And he catches his bus at 5:30 in the morning to get here on time.
Committed.
Yeah, he's very committed.
And all them schools he passed up along the way to come here.
Well, it was great over here at Central.
Yeah, I get
We're
it.
the oldest school in DPS, you know, so when you look at 1858, there's no comparison. You know? So a lot of guys, you know, I understand with them, and that's their heart and pride. You know, I got pride as well.
Right.
But, you know, the reality of it is that the numbers don't lie. Nor that the actual history itself. So those guys, man, they pretty good. Jeremiah Gray. I got my running back, Mike Reed.
Okay.
He's returning starter, also a tailback, played some safety last year for us and linebacker.
What year is he? What grade is he?
He's a 2026 as well.
Okay.
He got a lot of potential offers and opportunities just as well. He rushed for over 1,200 yards last year, 12 touchdowns. So I'm looking for big things for him. He's looking to reach goals and everything else like that. 3.2 GPA kind of kid, you know. I also got Marcel Dawson, starting corner, come back. He's been there. I've been in the fire, been here 4 years in a row. He's 6 feet corner. You know, he plays aggressive. He understands not to give up balls and everything. So
you like
come down hitting and everything. And he's a real solid kid with a 3.1 himself.
All that.
Those guys I had in the program, him and also my linebacker, he'll be wearing number 1 with big shoes to fill. You know, we lost Calandre Hardy. He's going to Ferris State. You know, he's a good opportunist. But, you know, Redding, his name's Devon Redding. He's a solid kid, play linebacker, moves around. He started at defensive end last year. Now he moves over to inside backer. He's got a much faster, you know, pace on himself. 6 feet, 210 pounds. Him and Michael Jackson, my other linebacker next to him. Both of those guys are 3.4 kind of guys. So, you know, I just like those type of, you know, guys.
I love hearing that, Coach. So with the time that we have, I'm going to grab some of those guys. We'll talk to some of them. What do you feel you have to do? Do you feel sometimes you have to defend Central? I know the history, you know the history, but just when it comes just to on its face and just people not really knowing about the talent that's here and the rich history that's here?
Well, I don't defend. What I do is be a pest. I'll be that fly on the wall.
Okay.
I try to help those guys get, motivated, communicated, and also market those guys into a good aspect, a good, how can I say it, prosperous way of being where you should be at the right place in the right time. So if I'm the fly on the wall and I'm always saying, hey, this guy, check this guy, do this and do that, and they at the camps, they at the university, they're doing everything that's to be done, they showing your GPAs, then you get the resources and you network through that as far as developing the person for opportunity.
Well, so let me tell you, as I was putting this together, this statewide tour, I only can be one place at a time.
Right.
But I said, man, I'm coming down to Detroit. I got to call my guy, Coach Jimmie Macon. And I think that speaks to who you are. Not because you said, Coach, when you coming to see me, or, man, you need to come over to Central, is that the work you've done already and the person you are is what make people think of you when there are opportunities. So I say that publicly to be able to just acknowledge you for truly being a great dude, man. And beyond the sports, I just appreciate your time, your energy, and all that. So with the time we have, whether it's to the Central Trailblazer community, Jackson State community, or just whoever, what final message do you have for our folks before we let you go?
Well, the thing is, Detroit Central, like I said, the oldest school in the city of Detroit, we try to build ourselves on pride. We make trails for others to follow. So, once we doing that, we blazing our way through. And we don't look for the bigger things or nothing like that. We just know that the blessings will come. Favor is always there when you're just doing the right things.
I love it. My guy, Coach Jimmie Macon, man, so happy to sit down with you. With that being said, folks, this is Lindsey House with SPS, and we'll see you next time.